Hello there, amazing listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Transform Yourself, the podcast that's all about empowering you to shed those stubborn pounds and embrace your best selves. We are your hosts, Kacy. You know me as the Calorie Deficit Queen, and my husband is here, Tyler. And we use the 4 M's of fitness, mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building to create attainable and sustainable weight loss. And we're going to give you practical advice and tips. We have lost a collective 130 pounds. We've kept it off for 3 years. And so if you're a fitness enthusiast, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're just curious about making positive body changes, Transform Yourself is your go-to source for inspiration, information, and a good dose of motivation. In today's episode, we're talking about why lifting weights is the secret to losing fat after 40. I used to not think this was a thing.
Used to be cardio. Cardio was king.
I used to be I thought that cardio was king.
Most people still do.
It's women in their 40s and 50s and 60s definitely do, because we were taught that at a young age, because our moms were doing Jane Fonda, right? Or Sweating to the Oldies or whatever it was.
Yeah. But you don't listen to your mom like how to program a VCR or
right.
So, hey, why are we listening about this? They don't know about this either.
Right. I mean, so let's talk about a game changer in your fat loss journey, and that is lifting weights. I know some of you are still clinging to the treadmill like it's your lifeline, but we're going to flip the script. If you want to burn fat, build confidence, and keep your metabolism fired up after 40, strength training is going to be your secret weapon. So grab a protein shake and let's dive in.
You can get pumped.
Right.
Getting pumped up.
We're going to cover 3 things: what lifting weights will do for your metabolism, how lifting weights can improve bone health, and how lifting can help you get rid of stubborn belly fat, that perimenopause belly fat that all of us over 40 women get. There you go. We're going to talk about that. So hang tight. So why is lifting weights so great for your metabolism? One of the biggest frustrations women over 40 face is a slowing metabolism. You swear, I know you do, because you swear you're eating the same way you always have. I'm doing the same thing I've always have been, Kacy. I'm not eating any different, but the scale is creeping up. You know why? Because you're not weightlifting. You're losing muscle. That's why. Your metabolism is not slowing down because you're aging. Your metabolism is slowing down because you are losing muscle. You actually, as you age, you can increase your metabolism. Do you know that in my 40s, I have massively increased my metabolism? So when women tell me, oh, my metabolism is slower because I'm older, that's not why.
Wrong.
That your metabolism is not slower because you're older. Your metabolism is slower because you've lost muscle.
I can also personally attest to this, because for me, when I first started losing weight, it was mostly jogging, but it is so much easier
to keep weight off.
To keep weight off if you lift weights. And now that I'm carrying around probably 10 or 15 pounds of muscle more than I was 3 years ago.
Right.
It's a dramatic difference.
Dramatic.
Plus life is easier when you're a little bit stronger.
Amen. So after 30, women start losing muscle at a rate of 3 to 8% per decade. So less muscle equals slower metabolism. But strength training reverses that by preserving and building lean muscle. The more muscles you have, the more calories you're going to burn. Muscle is metabolically active. It means the more you have, the more calories you burn. So even while you're Netflixing on the couch, you're going to be burning calories. Muscle burns 3 times more calories at rest than fat. So think about that. Think about the idea that if muscle burns more calories at rest than fat does, well, then the more muscles you have, the more calories you can burn at rest. And that is a great place to be, because it's not about the 1 hour that you spend in the gym strength training. It's about the other 23 hours a day that you're going to burn calories all day long and efficiently because of the strength training you did.
Yeah. And you're not just speaking the afterburn or whatever. It's actually because your muscles are growing and you're building a bigger engine. You're consuming more calories just to sustain yourself.
Absolutely. And so muscle actually has more mitochondria than fat. So it needs more energy, and energy in the source of calories, right? So there you go. The more muscle you build, the more calories you can burn. And so if you can burn more calories at rest, that means you can eat more calories. Isn't that what we all want? To be able to eat more without gaining weight? Absolutely. We don't want to have to be in I don't want my clients to be in a 1,200 calorie deficit. And I do not put clients in a 1,200 calorie deficit, by the way. When you join my program, that is not a one size fits all thing. You are put in a calorie deficit based on your height, your weight, your
activity level,
all of those things, right? And we put you in a calorie deficit that is reasonable and sustainable for you. Most ladies are not at 1,200. Most ladies are above that. But I can tell you that a woman with, say, 80 pounds of lean muscle mass, her resting metabolic rate, it might be, let's say, 1,400 calories at rest. But a woman with 100 pounds of lean muscle mass might burn 1,700 calories a day at rest. So that means even if you're burning an extra 200 calories every single day, that adds up to 73,000 extra calories burned throughout the year. That's a lot of extra food.
So what is 73,000 calories divided by 3,000?
Why?
Well, because that's 3,000 calories, roughly a pound.
No, 3,500 calories is a pound of fat.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about. So, okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that's a lot.
That's 21 pounds of fat loss.
That's crazy. Oh, so you already had that.
I already had that math.
All right, my bad.
It's fine.
Trying to add some value here.
So the fix is, if you haven't started strength training and you still believe that cardio is king, it is not too late to start strength training. It is never too late to start strength training. Start with something small, 3 to 4 times a week, to start revving up that metabolism and have that metabolism work for you, not against you. Second reason we should be strength training, especially us older ladies, stronger bones. And stronger bones means fewer injuries. And stronger bones and fewer injuries means more independence. So let's talk about bone health. At 40 or after 40, our risk for osteoporosis skyrockets. Falling in my 70s and breaking my hip is not a vibe that I am going for. I hope it's not something you're going for. Here's some alarming facts. 20 to 30% of elderly adults who suffer a hip fracture will die within 1 year of that injury.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's like a death sentence, basically.
Yes.
It's actually terrifying to think about that.
And mortality rates can reach 50% within 2 years after breaking a hip. That's wild to me. And 50% of older adults who survive a hip fracture never regain their pre-injury level of independence. And 40% require long-term care or a nursing home.
What's crazy is probably almost every single person listening to this knows someone who's been through this, or a family member, or a friend of a friend, or something like that. It's so prevalent.
To me, it's terrifying. Listen, I am knocking on the door of 50 in just a few months. So that means most hip fractures happen to elderly adults in their 70s and 80s. This is not something I see in my future. It is not something I absolutely not. And so I am going to do everything I can to remain strong and healthy with muscles, and I can help my bone health now just by doing strength training 3 to 4 times a week. And it doesn't have to be an hour in the gym, y'all. I know I said earlier, the 1 hour in the gym is what will bring you. As an example. But
it doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, 20 minutes of strength training is fine. That is a great place to start. And even moving forward, even if you did 30 minutes of strength training 3 times a week, that would be a great place to be my mother She is 75. I'm trying to think
I don't know
how old she is. But she was born in 50.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that 75?
Sure. Let's
Okay.
go with that.
Okay. She is 75 years old.
I clearly have demonstrated I can't do math on this podcast already. So
Right. She's 75 and she strength trains and she moves her body. She does lunges because she knows that if she weren't to do lunges, her knee would start to bother her. Or so it's little things like that I love to see, because of course I want my mom and dad to live healthy lives.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want, and I don't mean I don't want them, but I don't want them to have to live with us, and they don't want to have to come live with us because of that. And I don't mean that in a weird way. I just mean that.
Are you saying you wouldn't let my mom and dad come live with us?
Of course I would. Wink. Totally. So yeah. It's best for everyone to not be you putting yourself in that situation.
And science shows, study after study, those women who strength train have higher bone density and mineral density compared to those who don't. And when you build muscle, you build strength. You are stabilizing your joints. You are improving your balance. You are protecting yourself from falls.
It really, if you think about it, it's like a multi-layered approach, because like if you're strength training, you're literally strengthening your body. You're probably, you're probably going to help keep your balance better, but then also you're strengthening your bones. So then if you do take an impact, it's going to not be as bad.
Absolutely. So let's get into the third topic, belly fat. And you might have just been listening to this entire thing, waiting for me to get to this topic. So women 40 and older, as we hit the menopause phase, that visceral belly fat, that stubborn belly fat seems to have taken up a permanent residence, right? So here's why lifting is your best defense. Strength training actually can reduce visceral fat more effectively so than cardio. This has been studied. And the more muscle you have, the better insulin sensitivity you will have. We talked about this in a podcast, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. Go dig for it. Do you remember what it's called?
No, it was like 2 episodes ago. Okay. Is insulin something?
When you lift weights, your body becomes better at using glucose, and it reduces your risk of belly fat storage and type 2 diabetes. So strength training can have a hormonal effect on your body, which can help you reduce that stubborn belly fat. And beyond fat loss, lifting makes you feel strong. It makes you feel capable. It makes you feel empowered.
More resilient.
Nothing boosts confidence like having a new PR in the gym. PR, personal record, by the way. And being able to carry all your groceries in one trip.
Well, and just it makes you more prepared for life. Like if you can deadlift 150 pounds for 10 reps, do you think you're going to pull your back picking up a kid or doing yard work or something?
Right.
Like you're less likely to.
So getting started with strength training after 40 does not have to be intimidating. It is about starting with small, consistent, and smart choices. Begin with if you are brand new at strength training, begin with body weight exercises. Just begin with something like squats, lunges, push-ups to build a foundation before you add resistance with dumbbells or with resistance bands. And then after you do that, and it might only be 10 minutes, and that's fine. You don't have to start with an hour in the gym to start strength training. You don't have to start with all the muscle heads that I know you think that it's a bunch of muscle heads in the gym. It's not. What was that?
Depends on the gym.
You can focus on full body movements that target major muscle groups. Deadlifts, overhead press, rows. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know how to do any of those that she's talking about, I mean, feel free to join my next group challenge. In my group challenges, I have workouts in there, and each exercise has videos and descriptions and how-tos. So I will walk you through how to do those things. and really maximize your strength and your calorie burn. Start with just 2 to 3 sessions per week, gradually increase weight, gradually increase intensity as your body adapts. And don't forget to pair strength training with adequate protein intake. I'll teach you how to do that as well in my group challenges. This also helps support muscle growth. And most importantly, let's just ditch that all or nothing mindset. Even just doing 10 minutes of lifting a few times a week will yield results over time. And where you start is not where you stay. So your future stronger self will thank you. So let's recap. If you want to burn fat, you want to build a strong metabolism, you want to protect your bones, you want to wave goodbye to that stubborn belly fat, lifting weights is a non-negotiable. It is not about getting bulky. It is about getting strong, capable, and confident in your own skin. So if you have not picked up a dumbbell yet or done a lunge, now is the time. Your future self will thank you. Find the time tomorrow on your calendar. Put 10 minutes on your calendar and go crush your next workout. And if you're interested in joining my next group challenge, you can go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, click on the coaching tab, and you will see my group challenge details on that page. And if you're looking for weight loss resources, low-calorie cookbooks, maybe you just need to calculate your calorie deficit, then you can find those things as well at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Transform Yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a review. That really, really does help us. Until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep transforming yourself.
Adios.